NFL football, that is.
NFL
Let's just
football.
get cranked into some college football. How about that?
Well, yeah. So I do want to start with college football, but I do want to talk about our football.
Oh, fuck.
It's
Yeah.
very important to me. I really like being able to, you know, share our experiences in the world of football,
True.
our coaching experiences. I know we got people here in Arizona, close friends. We got some family that watch the show, and they are invested in kind of how our football goes. So I'm going to start. We had a really good day. The 9U Gray Colts had a very, very good day. We go out, we beat Benson 18-0. That is another great defensive performance. We shut out the last team we played through 4 quarters and an overtime until we finally lit one up. Come out again, have another shutout. It's great. Offensive line, we reworked it. We worked in some different things. We're looking at a double tight end set now. It worked very well. That double tight end set was very nice to have. And then our trip sets, they could not stop. We played really good. My offensive line drastically improved, moving some kids into different spots. They're maybe some of them are a little more slender than your typical offensive line that you think that should be in that spot, but they go out there hard nosed, put their face in there, block. It was a really good day, 18-0 for my Colts, and it probably could have been a lot more. We just have a problem, and I don't want to say it's a problem because we have a stud at running back. However, I feel like he purposely seeks people out to run his fucking face right into them when we could have a touchdown if we just keep it wide down the sidelines. We're doing a lot of cutbacks when we don't need to, almost like he's looking for contact because he will absolutely run somebody over. He Derrick Henry'd a kid today, kid half his size. But
Look, that sort of stuff is fun to watch. Having a solid runner all the way through high school is really what makes a team. Passing, sometimes in high school, passing can be a legit threat, but not always. No. And if you have a solid running back, you can pretty much control the game. Usually.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things.
And then watching a running back that has that aggression, I love watching.
I like it too. However, all you have to do is keep it towards the sideline and run towards space, scores you a because we could have probably won 30-0 because we didn't get any of our fucking our extra points.
You're kicking extra points?
No, we're not. At this point, kicking an extra point is 2 points.
Okay.
Whereas I think going for it is 1 point.
Huh.
Because kicking at this level is still harder than just going for it from the 2.5-yard line.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah. That's the way it was up at our tournament last year up in Phoenix. I don't know if we're doing that same tournament. I think we're actually going to the tournament in Vegas this year. Very excited about that. We'll get into some bets later on that kind of will make me very happy while we're there. But, yeah, 18-0. Very good game. I want to see my running back run the space. However, I don't mind him putting his face right through another motherfucker's face or yeeting a kid 4 or 5 yards away from him with a stiff arm.
I like when you talk about your running back going through another motherfucker's face because that's a child.
It is a child.
It's a child.
It is a child.
You're calling a child a motherfucker. Going through that
I was just trying
face.
to quote my guy Marshawn Lynch. Okay. All right, I'm trying to quote Marshawn Lynch. I'm sure that.
Hey, I'm not saying it's a negative thing. I just enjoy it.
I'm sure that young man is a very nice young man, 9-year-old. So he's probably not. But I mean, I'm gonna play it up. We had a great day. I love when we play up to our potential. Last game we played really well. We just got tired at the end. This game we were able to dominate from beginning to end. It makes you feel really good as a coach.
Yep.
I know you guys did not have that same success, but you guys did play well from my understanding.
Yeah, so we did have our second loss today, so we're 2-2. Kids played a lot better. After last game we had 9 players there, 8 players on the field, so they were just bushed. Bushed. And then on top of that, They had refs making bad calls, which weren't going, their way. And it was just that took points off the board for us and stuff. They were just, very mentally out of it. Whereas this game, they played better. They seemed to be having a fun time, a good time. We fought through some adversity with some injury stuff, kids, banging up their knee and things like that.
Right.
And then being like, no, I want to go back out there, which was always good to see.
That's good. That's important. That kind of shows the building of a good culture is like, no, I'm okay. I want to get back out there.
Yeah. So while it was a loss, it was kind of funny because at the end of the game, the kids were asking, did we win or lose? So if they're not aware if they're winning or losing because they're having a good time, then that's kind of what this portion of football is in their, growth. They're 5 to 7 years old. If they're having a good time, they're enjoying football and they're into it, that's going to feed them for years. And not knowing the score, not having to worry about it, that's a good thing. Even though, of course, we would like to win. But, I'm happy for the boys that they did good. We saw progress. There's still things that we need to improve. Unfortunately, I'm still not able to be going to practices because of work schedule. Right. So that's, I'm sure that's why we haven't won our past 2 games because I've not been there at practice and I make the team.
How's Bishop Sycamore doing?
Bishop Sycamore, also because of that work schedule, it's been lacking for me to be there.
Tough.
They've already told me I've got the starting gig. So, I'll be starting at right defensive end. But, it's a little bit back and forth. It's tough to keep track of what's going on at Bishop Sycamore because you just don't know if what you're hearing is true all the time. So
understandable, and if we don't keep this gag going for forever, I'm going to be very sad.
Yeah,
but because
I'm all about
it. The Bishop Sycamore story continues to change, develop. It's asinine. There are times where there's a massive problem with youth sports. Bishop Sycamore is like literally the definition of how bad youth sports can go. Other than seeing parents in fistfights on fields, but being able to talk about youth sports, being involved in youth sports, having good days like today, even if you don't get a win, like my last week, we did not get a win, but we played well. Those are important days, and I really enjoy being able to bring that aspect of our show to maybe people who are new to being parents, new to kind of getting their kids in sports, because listen, some coaches are going to be your very vanilla standard coach. Everybody's a winner. And some coaches are not going to be that way. Like, I'm a very hard coach to play for. I could bring my son in here right now and he'd be like, no, sometimes you're fucking kind of a prick.
Mm-hmm. In that exact language.
Well, yeah, I mean, considering the way I talk, it might come out exactly that way. But we love these kids. We want them to succeed. And for these, for the people who listen to the show who are, they have young kids, they're like, okay, listen, like these guys, they're involved with sports. They know sports. Sometimes, kind of you're going to be a prick. Your coach is going to be a prick. I mean, I'm sure you had coaches growing up that were assholes.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing is that it was one of the most valuable lessons that I was taught when I was younger, and I don't even remember who said it. It might have been a coach, but they said that kind of old adage, if I'm yelling at you, it's because you have potential. I know that there's more in you, and I want to get that out of you. Exactly. If I'm not yelling at you, you're a lost cause to me. Yeah. And I'm not invested in you anymore.
Like, I'm literally, yelling. I'm trying to pull every ounce of talent you have out of you right now.
Yeah. And so that's why when I was getting criticism and stuff like that during those sports, it was never really bringing me down. It was always like, okay, yeah, I need to do better because they know I can do better. Like, they have my back in this type thing. Right. And then, taking that on into adult life. Like, I don't take criticisms in a negative way. I mean, I'm sure it's
there are
human.
Ways
There's sometimes that I'll take criticisms negatively. Yeah. But in general, if I trust the person, believe in the person, and they're being critical of me, then I'm going to accept that criticism because that means it's an opportunity for growth. And for children and young adults to be learning that and taking that hopefully on into their adult lives in a society that does not accept criticism very well
at all
is an extremely valuable thing.
Yeah, I 100% agree. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get into today, talk about that. I mean, because I love youth sports. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't love it quite as much as I love college football or I love NFL football because my feet hurt like a motherfucker right now, and I'm about to pour myself another drink so I can not worry about that. It looks like that was a little rough.
It's terrible.
What the fuck is that?
Yukon Jack Apple.
Oh, why would you drink that?
Because I'm a fucking idiot.
Okay, there you go.
Sloppy Saturday. God.
Sloppy Saturday, baby. All right, so are we actually ready to get in?
I mean, I was fucking half hard ready to go, and then
I know. I had to bring up the kids and bring it back, but hey, let's run through a motherfucker's face.
That shit was awful.
And let's get ready to go.
Yeah.